Okay, well, here's another Heygo rerun for you. So, this is part of a series we did that was called New York at Night, where we would explore a neighborhood of New York and see what the city lights were like in the evening in that neighborhood. So, this one is the Meatpacking District and Little Island.
Hope you enjoy. Well, it's too late because
Hi,
we've started.
everybody.
Hello. Hello.
Just kidding.
Good
Ready?
evening. Ready? Okay. Hello. How are you? And
How do you do?
hi,
It's
everyone.
Aaron and Patrick, and we're coming to you.
I'm not sure what all of that's about, but hi, everyone. We're happy you're with us.
And if you were wondering about our future after Heygo, we are becoming cheerleaders for the Dallas Cowboys.
I thought you were going to say like we're becoming jingle writers because we're so good at it.
That we're doing that as well. Cheerleaders for the Dallas Cowboys, and we're going to be jingle writers.
I look really good in a skirt. Everybody, wait. See another town hall Sunday? Oh no, I didn't see that. But I will say.
Yeah. What will you say?
I will say this. We're bummed that Heygo is coming to an end. We're very sad. Because it's been such a terrific platform. But the bigger bummer is that we had so many tours that we had on our list of like, okay, we have to develop this, we have to develop this. But the one that we are most bummed about, because it is very specific to Heygo. Do you know what I'm talking about?
know. Yes, now I do. I didn't know where you were going, but now I do.
We were working on a tour that was called the
Heygo, the musical.
So that's the only thing that we were bummed about. I mean, obviously we're bummed about the whole platform ending, but we were like, oh, we could do like an at home, and we could like create like
Sets and costumes, and
we'll talk about Patrick in Paris and sing La Vie en Rose with
Yeah.
Laurent,
Yeah.
and different things like that.
I was gonna do Ring Them Bells. You gotta ring them bells, you gotta ring them bells.
How does that tie into Heygo?
It's all about traveling. Gather around, I got a story to tell about a Manhattan lady that I know pretty well. Her name is Shirley DeVore. She lives and she traveled around the world to meet the boy next door.
That would have been perfect.
I know. She goes to tried Dubrovnik, dear. I hear it's tried Dubrovnik, dear. I hear it's something. I don't know. Anyway, by the way, if you're new to us, I'm Aaron.
I'm Patrick. We did all that before we even introduced ourselves. Okay.
And we haven't even looked at the chat.
But I know. We
I'll
should,
do a
and
little
Nancy,
scroll back.
we should do it anyway. We just thought, that would have been a really fun thing to work on, and anyway. There's so many things, we were, I don't know if Trudy is on, but we just recently tested the cloisters. I know Trudy and a lot of other people have been mentioning the cloisters, so we won't get to there on Heygo. But
A lot of folks are saying, do it anyway. It would be a great final hurrah. I don't think we could...
Oh,
what
gosh.
we had planned... Oopsie. What we had planned, I don't think we could get it...
I don't think it would take... It's going to
ready.
take a while to put that together.
I mean, we had sets, costumes, lighting.
Dresses.
The Rockettes. We had called the Rockettes. They were going to come to our apartment.
We did call the Rockettes. They didn't answer.
They didn't. They didn't answer. Oh, that is something else, I think, for Mike.
Okay.
I'm just scrolling back. Cindy says there's another town hall on Sunday.
Thank you, Cindy.
Rockets kick, yes, Mike, exactly.
Yeah.
Eventbrite, Instagram Live. Lots of questions about what we'll do next. We have those questions too, but we have a lot. We have ideas, and Mary, I think I'm responding to that as well. And how are we going to do tours after? How do you follow us after? I know lots of questions. Well, listen, our Facebook isn't going away, and we are not going away. I don't think so. Are you getting rid of me?
No, we're still figuring all of those answers out. And, when we have everything that we're working on solidified, we will let everyone know. We're still ironing out all of the stuff. And, it's all kind of a big question mark at this point. But we don't want to toss out ideas for what we're going to do before we know ourselves, because we need to sort that out. Ourselves, and then we will, when that is all solidified, we'll give you all of that information.
Nancy and Nikki, thank you for those sweet words. And Sharon and Peter, of course, thank you. Nikki, that's very sweet. Hi, Duran in Queens. Hello. Welcome. Diane asks, what's our Facebook page? Well,
it's Patrick, Aaron, NYC Tour Guys.
yeah.
We might be doing some rebranding soon, so that name could change, but stay tuned.
Yeah, exactly. And we will have information on that in the next couple of days.
No, it's not like we're waiting until after Heygo is done, but we, we have a couple more days of just sort of figuring some stuff out.
Patrick's getting mad at me. I'm trying to look at the chat.
I appreciate it because I can't see it.
Thank you, Karen. Karen says, "Love you both. You were your very first Heygo."
Oh,
and I'm glad you didn't run away.
We didn't scare you off.
Yeah, exactly. We're a little over 2 minutes away from starting our New York at Night Meatpacking District. Lori, we were your first one as well. Yay! Thank you.
I'm going to put my glasses on. Vanity, be gone.
Somebody says you're not able to follow our page.
Your page?
Do you mean our Facebook page?
Well, I think it's just a regular Facebook page. It's not something, I guess you could follow. I don't know how that works. It's just like, you just connect with that person. Like, hey, we're friends.
Oh, Barbara. Well, we intend to, we do have a page. Yeah. Somebody says you have to create a page. We do have a page. It's what Patrick was
well,
mentioning
yeah.
earlier.
I mean, it's Patrick, Aaron, NYC Tour Guys. But yeah, I don't know if you're able
Thanks,
to.
Tish. That's it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, thanks, Tish. Perfect.
And Barbara, in response to you didn't get to see all of Central Park yet. Don't fret. We're figuring things out.
Yeah.
Just because Heygo is ending does not mean we're... Patrick's got a leg up on things.
I have my leg up on
He's doing some bar work over here.
some bar work.
Yeah, that's not true. Who doesn't miss a Stroop waffle? Jane says you look handsome in glasses. I think so too.
Jane, my
If you don't know,
goodness.
we're married, by the way. I can say that. You got all the ingredients for the chicken pot pie, Lena. Yummy.
Oh, fantastic! It's delicious.
Coming over.
It's a solid recipe. I don't think my sister's Sherry is on, but she joins our tours from time to time, and I got that recipe from her. And I always think the recipes you get. Thank you. The recipes you get. Got it, Robin. The recipes you get from your family members are just, I don't know. Somehow they taste better. The ones that are handed down to you.
I've never tried the clam pizza. I've always wanted to try it. And Carol, you made the pies. Yay. Yay, yay, yay. Thank you. Recipe looks
we're very
good.
close, about 15 seconds away.
I'm excited.
I know, me too. This is a new tour. I mean, we have some brand new tours that we're putting up right before Heygo crosses the finish line.
Parker and Linda are on.
Oh, my cousins Parker and Linda.
And
Hi.
also Linda asked, who took whose last name? Well, Linda, we both had very solid professional theatrical careers before we got married, so we kept our names. So we both have our same last name. And you know what? Do you want to get going?
I do.
All right, let's get going.
All
Welcome, everybody. It's go time here in New York City. You're so happy. You're so happy we're with you. We're so happy you're with us. And Mimi, I'm glad you made it and it was tasty. It should be a lovely night. We got clear skies. The sun just set, so it's going to get darker as we walk our way through, which was kind of our plan, to get to see a little bit of the buildings as we start off and then descend into the darkness as we make our way over to the Hudson River.
Does it sound like a...
I know. Spooky, right?
Yeah.
You don't know what's in store.
Okay.
I made some calls.
Okay.
There's some goblins and ghouls. That's all I could come up with.
Okay.
But by the way, if you're new to us, I'm Aaron.
And I'm Patrick.
And we're happy you joined us this evening here in New York. And this is a live tour. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask us along the way. Likewise, if you see any goblins and ghouls along the way, keep us posted. And it is 7:30 p.m. here in New York City. It is 13 degrees Celsius, 53 degrees Fahrenheit. I think so.
56 degrees, yeah.
I looked it up before we started tonight. It already went out of my brain, but it's roughly around there, and it's a beautiful evening. It's really quite nice, and I think that's all I have to say.
Yes, you can take pictures also on this tour, which is a really cool thing. Anytime you see something that you like, hit that picture button, and that picture will be saved in your Heygo profile. you can share those with all of your family or friends and let everyone know what you've been up to around the world virtually.
Thanks, Tiash. Thank you so much for that. Also, I mentioned questions, let's talk about tech. We will watch the signal on our end. Sometimes in the Meatpacking District, our signal dips, but we'll keep an eye on it on our end, and if it really dips, we will keep you posted. Now, there has been some discussion in the chat about Heygo going away, Heygon, and for those of you that don't know about that, we hate to be the bearer of bad news. It will be gone as of next week, noon UK time on April 12th.
Yeah.
Our final tour will be the day before because...
I think it's the 11th.
The 11th. I keep messing up the day.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Our final, thanks all for reporting to you live from Meatpacking District. Our final tour will be the day before on the 10th. Oh my gosh, there's a giant group going right past us.
It's a gaggle.
A live tour group.
Yeah.
Our final tour will be the day before. We actually have two that day. We have a Little Italy tour in the morning, and we have our final Heygo tour in the afternoon.
That's right.
And in terms of Heygo closing, we're very, very sad about it. And we do have some plans for the future, and we will reveal those plans within the next day or two. Will our plans be perfect? Probably not. Will our plans have bumps along the way? Most likely. But do we want to keep trying to have a community with you all involved? Absolutely. And we're going to work to figure that out, and we'll do our best, we promise.
Yeah.
And in terms of... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
In terms of Heygo closing and any questions you might have about that, let's save those for after the tour, and let's enjoy the tour for what it is, and keep Heygo's closure away from our beautiful tour, sanctuary. But we can certainly talk about that afterwards as well.
Sanctuary much.
Do you have anything else?
No, let's get going.
All right. So we're starting right here, actually at the southern tip of the High Line, which we're going to be on tomorrow at the corner of Gansevoort and Washington. We're starting right in front of Louis Vuitton, and
we're not going shopping, though.
Yeah, we're not going
I
shopping.
think they're closed.
I think they are, too, which is probably best for our wallets, especially since Heygo's going away.
Yeah.
But we wanted to show this off because a lot of you have been with us on tours before where we've talked about Yayoi Kusama, and they're having a collaboration with Yayoi Kusama right now, as you can see all throughout the store. It looks incredible, and so both the Fifth Avenue store is... all decorated with Kusama attire or artwork, and this one is as well. But it just really brightens it up in such a terrific way. It's exciting. It brings some life to this little corner, basically. And so we're going to journey our way through the Meatpacking District. Now, once we kind of clear this little dining shed on our left, I want to point out the R&L restaurant, which is on the other side of the street, which looks rather nondescript and boring, but it's actually quite important to this neighborhood. So it actually started in the 30s as a little lunch counter, and then in the 80s, a gentleman named Florent Morelle, that is Florent from Paris, by the way.
No, that's a different Florent.
Oh, okay, different Florent. Never mind. But he transformed this into a little restaurant right here that was a popular haunt of the folks who would come down to the Meatpacking District for clubbing or potentially for the sex workers who were in this area, because in the 80s this was a seedy area of New York City, and we'll chat about that as we stroll along. And that kind of really started to change things in the Meatpacking District and make it a little less seedy and start to move it into this trendy neighborhood. And in large part, one of those people that transformed it was Diane von Furstenberg, and she would come to this restaurant, and that's part of the reason why she came to this neighborhood, was because she liked that particular restaurant and was a fan of the neighborhood as well.
Are we close to where the boat trip started? We're a little farther south, Antje. The boat trip was up at 42nd Street, and we're a little farther downtown, like around 12th.
This is Pastis on the right, and Pastis also is in large part, or largely responsible, I should say, for the transformation of the Meatpacking District. So this is a very popular French bistro, and when it moved to this neighborhood, it really kind of helped transform things. I think it was Sandra that asked, are the cobblestones original? Quite a few of them would be. I mean, it's, there's obviously had to be
I'm assuming
replacements
they've
over
been
time.
replaced, some of them. But
Yeah.
it is cool that they've kept that those stones down. I also just want to point out that the restaurant across the street, you're going to see a lot of these outdoor seating all throughout our tour, and a lot of you have heard us talk about this, but during the pandemic, New York got special permission, the restaurants got special permission to create this extra outdoor seating to help the restaurant stay open and letting people stay socially distanced and still come out to restaurants. So that's what those are.
Marie says, very pretty at night. I agree, Marie, with those lights. It's just gorgeous. And before we make our way into Gansevoort Plaza, I just want to show one other little storefront. It's Loro Piana, which is a clothing store widely known for their cashmere. It's an Italian store, but they just have a really cool display that we noticed when we were testing the other night, and so we want to show that off. Excellent question, Barbara. Is the meatpacking industry still in this area?
Oh, yeah, it is an excellent question.
It is not, and there is still one building left, and that one building is left because the building, or one building with a few different meatpackers in it, and it's still around because, because that particular building is owned by the city of New York, and the others were owned by the private industry, so they made a killing as this area started to boom, basically. Is this Anderson art? I honestly don't know. We just saw it the other day and thought it looked really cool.
Yeah.
Nancy asked, where are we? What is our, what street are we on? We're on Gansevoort right now. And Gansevoort was going to open up into Gansevoort Plaza right here. And as you take in the beautiful lights of the buildings around us, I'm going to talk a little bit about the plaza that we're in right now. And this particular plaza is a 4th Street intersection of 9th Avenue, Greenwich Street, Little West 12th Street, and Gansevoort Plaza. And we mentioned the Belgian blocks all around it, the cobblestone. So this is and would be a very considered a wide plaza here in New York City, a place that is not known for a ton of real estate. So to have an open plaza like this is quite rare. Now, this area used to be a vegetable market, the Gansevoort Market, like a massive farmer's market, and it's now quite built up, as you see as we make our way through the Meatpacking District tonight. But we would have had this kind of broad open area overflowing with produce carts and thousands of shoppers. That opened in 1879, and that developed into the Meatpacking District that we know of now, although even the Meatpacking District that we know of now is a little bit transformed. You can see some of the awnings there on that beautifully lit building.
Yeah, these awnings all in this neighborhood. Did you already say that they're a landmark?
I have not, no.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, the awnings are all along these fancy stores. They are landmarked from the old meatpacking days, which I kind of love. And, a lot of these stores have, they've made lemonade out of having to keep these structures intact on the buildings. And look at that beautiful sky back there.
Yeah, it really is. That's Hermes on the left, by the way.
Yeah.
So that the vegetable market came into this area in 1879. The meat packers came in around 1900. And we really saw in the 80s is when we started to see those meat packers, 80s into the 90s, meat packers start to move out of this area. And now what we have left is this extremely trendy, hip area. This is the Restoration Hardware Hotel and Restaurant that you're seeing right here. Adults only 10 hotel rooms, full floor penthouse up there. Patrick and I usually stay there about once a month.
Whenever we come down to this.
Yeah, whenever we... but it's incredible. That began life as six 3-story stables and stores, and then in 1922, those were kind of reduced to just 2 stories for the estate of Vincent Astor. So that top part, those steel beams that you're seeing, that was added on for the Restoration Hardware addition, basically.
Patrick and Finn, thanks so much for joining us. Finn, that tour was fantastic, by the way.
Now, the name Gansevoort, going back to our Gansevoort market, was named after the Fort Gansevoort, which was located in what is now 12th and Gansevoort. It was built to defend the United States from British ships during the War of 1812, and it had 22 mounted guns and was named after Peter Gansevoort, a colonel in the Continental Army against the Revolutionary War. And he was also, by the way, the grandfather of Moby Dick author Herman Melville. Fun fact.
Fun fact.
I know. That fort didn't see much action, but the name has stuck around this area. And we're just going to slowly make our way through. I'll chat a little bit more about the neighborhood, but you'll get some nice view of the city lights as we make our way along.
Ooh, the Gansevoort.
Oh, yeah. This is the Gansevoort Hotel, which is one of the more posh hotels in this area. So I also should have mentioned that on Gansevoort, where we were, it's one of the most popular spots to see Manhattan Hinge. Manhattan Hinge is when the sun aligns with the kind of what we call it, the cavern of the city buildings.
Yeah, down the street.
Yeah, and it creates this really beautiful setting sun. And that Gansevoort Street that we were on is one of the most popular ones. The best time to see that is usually in the spring, and the autumn are usually the best times to see that Manhattan Hinge, they call it, which is such a terrific name. We are walking north now, by the way, through the Meatpacking District. You're looking to the west, and you'll see glimpses of the High Line. We'll go under the High Line as we make our way over to Little Island in just a little bit. So Patrick mentioned the awnings of the Meatpacking District are landmarked. That happened in 2003. They came in and they landmarked not just the awnings, but about 140 of the buildings in this district. So it is primarily, this Meatpacking District has primarily always been rail yards and industries. The first inhabitants in this area, of course, would have been the Lenape tribe, our Native Americans that we had here in Manhattan, or Mannahatta at the time. And the Lenape built a trading post in this little area, really kind of in that Gansevoort Plaza area that we were in earlier. And then we saw that large farmers market come into place. And then, as we were mentioning, the meat packers came in, the slaughterhouses. We had over 250 all crammed in this one little tight area of Manhattan, which is really quite incredible.
Robin, your uncle worked as a butcher in the Meatpacking District. That's really cool. You have quite the New York lineage.
Yeah. Now, the decline of the Meatpacking District would be similar to the High Line, which, if you want to know more about the High Line, we're doing a tour of that tomorrow. But essentially, that decline would have been the interstate system, plus new refrigeration and freezing techniques would have brought that decline. And then this area would have become a little seedy, a little undesirable until the 90s, when we saw the art galleries move in and restaurants move in, and it became a little bit more exciting. Here we have, this is kind of what we would call the Lil Flatiron Building. Lil Flatiron Building. It's really the Silas and Herring Lock and Safe Company building.
That's my rapper name, Lil Flatiron.
Lil Flatiron. It's Patrick's rapper name.
Sorry.
They were following. That we were getting followed on our tour. But
enjoyed the information, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. But you can see it does look like our Flatiron building that we have up in the Flatiron District, up by Madison Square Park. 5-story brick structure. It was built in 1849. Originally it was 4 stories, and it was built for the Herring's Safe Company, as in, you put your jewels in the safe. And he died in 1881, and then that 5th floor was added on shortly thereafter, and it became a general shop space. Now the ground floor is restaurant space, and the basement has a club that also some of you might even know of. There were some seedy clubs that were down there for a while. This was a very popular haunt for those said seedy clubs.
Yeah, I think there used to be a club down there called Jay's Hangout. Not that I was ever there.
Yeah.
I never went. I've only heard about it. I'm going to do a long shot here.
And there was another one called The Vault, right? I think down there. I think that was the one that Madonna's photo book that was just called Sex. I think it took place down there. By the way, in this building, if you happen to be a fan of Fatal Attraction, this is where Glenn Close's psychotic character lived. It's also the building that was used in the Oscar-nominated film The Hours. Let's see, it's Ed Harris, I think.
Yeah.
His apartment is that last corner in the distance there is where that apartment was located.
All right.
And I think he leapt, I hate to be so gruesome, but I think he leapt to his death out of that window. The character. Not Ed Harris.
In the story.
The character in the story, yeah. So the Meatpacking District, it is known for its very fancy restaurants,
God.
and it's
Yeah. Spoilers. I didn't even think about that. Oh, sorry for anybody that hasn't seen the movie.
Yeah. Well, it's been around for a while. You're too late. You should have watched it already. But it's also known for its high-end shopping, its high-end restaurants. But it doesn't mean you can't come down here if you don't have, if you only have a couple dimes in your pocket. You can still come down here. There's a lot to enjoy. The Chelsea Market, which we're going to be walking along in just a little bit, has a lot to check out that can be quite affordable. The High Line is free and a beautiful walk, an old railroad that's been turned into an urban trail. And we're near the Whitney Museum, which oftentimes has free nights. We're also going to be going over to Little Island, which is also free. So this might be a ritzy, pricey area, but it's not without its affordable options as well. Now, this steakhouse right here is the Old Homestead Steakhouse, and we're going to walk a little past it and then show it back because that side of the neon sign is a little bit better. It's one of the oldest restaurants in New York City. It opened in 1868 when chop houses kind of became popular after the Civil War, and also one of the longest operating restaurants in the nation. It was originally called the Tidewater Trading Post because of its proximity to the Hudson, where we will be headed at the end of our tour this evening. And it was purchased by Harry Sherry and has been run by his family for over 70 years. There's Harry Sherry and there's Harry Carey and... but actually, should we show the roastery before we...
Which store?
Oh, Mary Berry, the roastery.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I forgot to say... Speaking of Mary Berry, I forgot to tell everybody our future after Heygo. They've asked us to be the new hosts at British Bake Off.
That is definitely not true. As much as I wish that was a true thing, it
Rude.
is not.
I'm putting it out there. So right here is the Starbucks Reserve Roastery, and this is a 3-story coffee extravaganza. And thank you, Melissa. And we'll mention the Google in just a minute. Yep, good question. 3-story coffee extravaganza. They have boozy coffee, regular coffee, foodie coffee. They've got it all. That's Google headquarters that you're seeing there across the street. Art Deco building. It covers the entire block of between 15th and 16th and 8th and 9th. It was built in 1932 with kind of a multi-purpose design. Has 4 freight elevators that can lift, believe it or not, 20-ton trucks. And the main tenant for decades was the Port Authority, which is sort of our joint state kind of government office that handles all the transportation infrastructure. But they moved to the World Trade Center complex in the 70s, and Google acquired the building in 2010. And it's a remarkable facility that they have inside there. Google also owns Chelsea Market, which is what we're going to be walking along now. If we were to go north just a little bit, we would be smack dab in the heart of the neighborhood of Chelsea. But we're going to turn and head over to the river, over to Little Island. And so we won't... Zoe, we'll discuss that at the end about our future with post Heygo. We can stay on this side, then we go under the nice lights.
Oh, yeah.
Here, that seems good to me.
Yeah.
By the way, Chelsea, if we were to walk north, the neighborhood of Chelsea is that would have been for the longest time the LGBTQ neighborhood, which is now primarily in Hell's Kitchen, although there's still some LGBTQ residents in that area as well. But it's considered kind of one of the centers of the art world as well. And so now we are headed along Chelsea Market. And Chelsea Market, let's let them pass.
Yeah.
Sorry. We had a family walking behind us, so we're going to let them pass.
Yeah, the food market in Chelsea, the Food Network.
Yes,
Chelsea
Linda.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So this is Chelsea Market all along here. It's a food hall, a shopping complex. It's got office building, and as we just said, television production in there, some facilities. Food Network is in there. I forget what the other one is. There's another, is it Major League Baseball?
New York One?
Oh, New York One. I
Yeah.
think you're right. New York One, yeah, as well.
All the outdoor seating for Chelsea Market. They put all of these pop-up tables out here just for during the pandemic, and they're still here. It's actually quite nice, especially in nice weather, to get a little nosh at Chelsea Market and come out here.
Patricia, as we were just saying, yes, it is a very expensive neighborhood, but Chelsea Market is one area you can come to and still find a nice little bargain here and there. It's, as you can see, so it's end of day, so it's kind of closed up right now. But it's got a lot of food kiosks all throughout, and shopping, really fun shopping inside there. Some terrific New York City gifts can be purchased in this location in Chelsea Market. This also occupies an entire city block. It's between 15th and 16th and 9th and 10th Avenue. And originally, this building was constructed in the 90s, and it had 6 different major bakeries all throughout this building. I'm going to say that again, bakeries, because it sounded like I said bankeries, a new term for banking. No, bakeries were all in this building. And then those all merged, and they became the National Biscuit Company, also known as Nabisco. So Nabisco was in this building. So believe it or not, it's actually 17 different buildings that make up this entire block of a building. Nabisco left for the suburbs in 1958, which actually just shut down in Fair Lawn, New Jersey. Just recently shut down. And this area was kind of a little bit empty because of that development of the interstate system that we were talking about earlier, but started to redevelop in the 90s, as we were talking about. And we've seen a complete revitalization. The food hall opened in 97, and it's always transforming. It's pretty incredible. It was one of the first food halls to open up in New York City. He's power washing that, so we might want to move or we're going to get wet. There's a gentleman power washing the fence right next to us. Now, the funny thing is, we talk about the craze of the food halls, but I think it's sort of like a mall food market in a way.
Yeah.
It's like just a classic food market. You're seeing the classic sky bridge above us up there. It's blitz. I mean, just perfectly against the sky right there. I love that.
The machines here are loud, so they're just doing some tidying up here at the end of the day. We'll turn around once we get past the sky bridge. We'll turn around and get another good shot of it.
Yeah, then we're away from the noise of the power washers as well. There are over 60 shops and restaurants inside Chelsea Market, so you can spend quite a big chunk of time. You also can just pick yourself up a picnic and head on up to the High Line, or head out to Little Island, where we're going to be ending our tour tonight. So there's a lot of options over here to certainly enjoy this area and also not break the bank while you're enjoying this area. We're going to pan back, and you'll see that sky bridge. So what would have happened is the sky bridge would have been put here when Nabisco was in the building, to sort of, you could have the manufacturing on the left side, and you could have your administrative offices on the right side, and then they could cross between the sky bridge there, quite conveniently.
One of the nicer sky bridges we have. There's not that many left in the city. There used to be a lot more, and this is one of the handful that's left. And and there's also there's one that's an apartment, right? One that's been turned into an apartment.
Yeah, I'll take it, please. Right above us right now, by the way, is the High Line. And again, if you want a full High Line tour, we're doing that one tomorrow afternoon, I think 2 o'clock New York time. But I will just give you kind of a brief general information about it if you don't know what that is. So that is an elevated railway that was a disused southern viaduct of the New York Central Railroad's West Side Line. And they reopened it in 2009 as a linear greenway and rail trail, and it's really quite special. I feel like let's cross and then turn around and show it. Yeah, okay, because we have the light right now. It's in our favor. But it opened in 2009 as that rail trail. It's 1.45 miles long, or about 2.3 kilometers, and it goes 30 feet in the air over about 22 blocks. It's pretty darn cool. New Yorkers are proud of it and love enjoying it.
There was... Go back, we missed.
Yeah, there was a question we missed. Is there a best place... good question, Terry. Best place to start walking on the High Line. Well, here's what I will say. If you want to walk the entire line, and Patrick might disagree, because that's kind of the beauty of the High Line, is it's totally different everywhere you pop on. I personally like starting at the southern end and walking all the way north.
It also depends on what time of the day
you're
doing it. You know, if you're starting early in the morning, I would start from north and go south, and if you're starting later in the afternoon, go from south to north. You get the best light that way. Also, I just want to point out that there's some of the rail lines that some of the trains would go through these rail lines. The lower one, that's a rail line that would go right directly into the building and drop off, whatever goods they were dropping off at the time. That ended in the 50s, right? 1950?
Yeah. Terry, the other thing I will say about walking the High Line, if you are walking the entire thing, the big thing to keep in mind if you're walking from south to north or north to south is take notice of the architecture around you and how it changes. It's much more contemporary when you get to the northern part and much more old school when you get to the southern part, which is kind of cool to see as you walk along the High Line. Ooh, there's the little island framed in the distance by this archway. We're moving to a little park right now that we're just going to kind of mosey through to get off the street and head over here to Pier 57, which is starting to become a new popular place for dining, dancing, music, relaxing, both indoors and outdoors. So the building was actually originally built in 1952. It's listed on the National Register of Historic Places in large part because it has this innovative engineering technique that keeps it afloat. That's right, it keeps this afloat as it goes further out. So just below the water on the backside of this facade you're seeing are 3 large concrete caissons that support the main structure with traditional, in lieu of traditional piles, basically. And then those underwater containers also serve as like a unique kind of basement, unlike any other pier that we have here. So this building was used for bus parking, New York City bus parking, until 2004. Watch out. Oh, sorry. My bad. I just saw a car coming and didn't see we have the walk sign. So this was used for New York City bus parking until 2004, and today it's undergoing this massive change. So City Winery, you can see right in front of us, is kind of like a live music restaurant space. I think there's one in Chicago. I think there's a couple around the country. It's pretty cool, but the entire pier is going to have artist spaces in it. It's going to have cafes and restaurants. It's gonna really kind of be transformed and be a new sort of destination over here on the west side of Manhattan, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Including a rooftop, by the way. Did I say that yet? It's going to have a rooftop where you can go out and see views of the Hudson River. That's right, I said Hudson River. There it is. Beautiful Hudson River. And Little Island, which is where we're going to head out to right now. So Little Island is this little 2.4 acre or 1 hectare public park. And it is right here in the middle of the Hudson River. And it grows up out of the Hudson River and out of some old dilapidated piers that used to be right here. There are entrances at 13th and 14th. We're going to go in at 14th Street. If you've joined us for the daytime tour of Little Island, we go in at the 13th Street. So we thought, let's switch it up. Why not? So we're going to go in the 14th Street entrance tonight.
We're also probably going to go a smidge over our scheduled time, so we're sorry. If you need to run, if you're going to another tour, do not be late. But we're going to be a few minutes over. We always, sort of guess how long when we do brand new tours, how long they're going to take. But yeah, that is really pretty.
It kind of looks like the moon in the middle. It's not the moon, by the way. It is a lamppost that you're seeing up there. So Patrick, what do you think? Do you want to go up and to the southeast quadrant, and then we'll get views of the city when we get up there as we make our way in? So it is open about 6 a.m. to 1 a.m. every day. It depends on the time of year. It depends on the weather as well. 365 days a year. Again, that is also dependent on the weather.
Very sweet.
That's very sweet. Thanks, Nikki. The park is free. They do have some ticketed events up here because there is an amphitheater known as the Amp, and sometimes those are ticketed events, but they're really quite affordable. They're about $25 a ticket. It depends on the event again, but then they also offer up free tickets to, I think, every single event that happens in the Amp.
Helen, yes, we saw this from the Statue of Liberty boat cruise that we did.
Right.
We saw this from a far away. We tried to zoom in on it, but now we're seeing it up close and personal.
Karen, no dogs in the park, and the reason for that is that it is so small. No dogs, no bikes, no skateboarding. They try to keep it just very pedestrian friendly because it is tiny. It's only 1 acre. 2.4 acres, or about 1 hectare. So it's a little park, thus little island.
Yeah.
It costs about $260 million to build, by the way. And was it Eileen asked about the funnel supports. And the funnel supports that you saw that look like kind of tulips. Funnel is a first, actually. Most people call them high heels.
Oh, yeah.
Or
those are the support structures that the whole park is on.
yeah.
And somebody else asked.
They're kind of big concrete upside down garlic that
Karen,
comes out of the water.
No, you don't need timed tickets anymore. It has thinned out, and now you can just come on in.
Yeah. So we're going to head on up. Ooh, we got some tulips here on the right.
Or daffodils.
I mean daffodils. Or daffodils. See, you say something wrong and it makes you laugh a little. You can laugh a little in front of the little flatiron. Daffodil flatiron.
Oh
they should plant daffodils all around it. Okay, I'm done. All right, so we're making our way up here, and we'll get some beautiful views of the city as we make our way up to one of the higher points in the park. And then we'll also get some good Hudson River views as well. So we'll kind of be in a nice little bonus spot where we get city and the river and Jersey. It's a 3-for-1. So Little Island, by the way, was funded by Barry Diller, philanthropist Barry Diller. And his idea was that you were leaving the busy city and coming out here into Oz, in this world of imagination, this world of wonder, this world of nature, this world of hypnotism. That's right, hypnotism. You're getting very sleepy. Very sleepy. So there's a lot of interactive items on Little Island for kids of all ages to enjoy.
That's right.
This is a great shot because on the daytime tour we can't see inside Pier 57, but this is that new, this is that building that they're creating anew, I should say. Look at how bright it is. Look at all the action that's happening in there.
Yeah, it looks like you want to go to there.
I want to go to there, absolutely. So this is where Pier 54 would have been, where we're standing right now. And Pier 54 was really kind of demolished by Hurricane Sandy in 2012. And so it sat just sort of dilapidated for years, and that's when Barry Diller thought, hey, let's create something new from this.
That is not a pool. It's actually just, there are two digital screens that are showing waves. So they do it does kind of look like a pool from far away.
You could try to dive in, but you get some crazy looks. Just saying. So we're going to just give you a little pan of the city now as well. Hillary, that's a really good point. The park looks so well established for a new area. These trees that you're seeing, like this one that's right here, that is actually caught between the moon and New York City, that tree right there, they have about 50 what they call mature trees. So they worked really hard to plant these trees that would hold steady here on the island and come back in the future years, but be quite big when the island opened, which was just, about 2 years ago now at this point that the island opened. So there are many more trees that are going to get bigger and grander and bolder and more colorful, but they wanted to start the island off with some mature trees. Also, they have an incredible way of anchoring the trees. So they have retaining walls all throughout, and you might even be seeing them as we walk along, and to make sure that there's not too much erosion as we make our way through. And then these root balls also have foam supports around them, and they also have like steel straps that almost look like, if you remember cassette tapes. Does anybody remember cassette tapes? Sort of that mixed into the soil to keep it from eroding.
Someone asked about if they have concerts or performances here, and they do. This is an outdoor amphitheater, and you can see that the backdrop to watching any kind of performance here is the Hudson River, which is really cool, especially when the sun is setting. And that's, of course, New Jersey over there that you're seeing, the state of New Jersey.
New
Next
Jersey.
to New York.
Do you want to rock climb?
Sure.
Do you want to head up there? We'll see if our signal...
Sure,
because we don't have many people on the island, so our signal might be stronger.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
Let's give it a shot. All right, we're gonna
go rock climbing, everybody.
Climb these rocks.
It is, again, intended to be explorative and quite fun. Where's our opening? Here it is. And we're going to make our way up to the, what is that, southwest peak.
Yeah.
And show the terrific views from up there, as long as our signal is strong.
Bruce, yes, we've done a daytime tour here before, but this is our first time here at night. There is the 13th Street entrance there, sort of framed by those tulip.
And we get a... Do you want to show that here? Yeah, we get a great shot of the Empire State Building right now.
Wow.
Or as Patrick likes to call it, the Empire State Building. He does not. I made that up. Yes, Corinne, those of us of a certain age, remember?
Oh, yeah.
The cassette tapes. They're so weirdly making a comeback, but I think who has a cassette tape player anymore?
I guess they'll start making them again.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, shall we head up?
Kate is asking, when was this built? Well, it took some time. So the piers went down in 2012, and then this didn't open until later in 2021. Do I have that right? 2021. Yeah, exactly. I had to do my math really quickly. So we saw 2013 is when the partnership began. So a year after... we could go that way if you want. Yeah, where there was a family with children who were running at our feet, and the truth is it's hard for us to see little children at our feet when we're touring, so we didn't want to...
Especially at night, it's dark.
Yeah. So 2013 is when the first ideas came about. So it took about 8 years of planning and building.
Yes, Jim, of course, the seasoned friends, seasoned viewers.
Thank you very much, Jim, for that. We appreciate the terminology. So we'll make our way. I think we could probably just go right over here, and then we're away from all those folks.
Yeah.
Which is quite nice. So you're going to see Jersey City in the distance. We're going to be looking south. And, gosh, we got some terrific views tonight on this clear night up here on Little Island.
Zoomy zoom here. That's Jersey City there.
Well, Jersey City, if you want to say it like that.
Move up a little bit.
Somebody asked if we spotted Diane Van Furstenberg and Barry Diller strolling in the park. No, but they were at one of the concerts we went to.
Oh, right.
In the AMP one time. Do I need to go further, or are you good?
No, I think we're good here. We can go up a little bit. Just so that tree's not... There we go.
Yeah. So that's all Lower Manhattan. Of course, One World Trade. Yes, Judy, they are UFOs.
They are UFOs. Good eye, Judy.
Yeah.
No, those are... I don't know. Those are planes.
Well, if you don't know, it's... it's unidentified, right? And
That's
it's flying,
true.
and
So,
it's an object. So we're not lying. Barry,
you know what, Barry? We have not seen them here.
I hope not.
I know we haven't seen them, but that doesn't mean that they're not here. Yeah, those are planes coming in. They might be landing at LaGuardia or JFK. Who knows?
Yeah. Stephanie, that's very sweet. Sending you a virtual hug. We're gonna end our tour up here. Bruce wants to zoom in on Jersey. That's Jersey City over there, Bruce.
Do you know Jersey City, Bruce? There you go.
Go. It is a wonderful night. We got lucky with the weather. Who was that? Who's mentioned that? I was trying to... That was Joan, I think.
All right.
So, thank you all for joining us this evening here in Little Island. We're so glad you all joined us tonight.
We'll find a place where we have some light.
Maybe down
at the bottom, maybe.
Sure, kid, sure. We can go down there. Or maybe even right here. That's shining on us.
Okay.
Or do you want to go all the way down?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll keep talking. You watch the steps. Make sure we don't fall.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we're going to be on the High Line, which we talked about earlier. We'll do a stroll on the High Line tomorrow. So if you haven't joined us for that one yet, please do, because it's one of our favorite tours to do, and we like showing that off. And then on Wednesday we have a couple of tours, and my brain is like a sieve.
Oh, thanks, Tish. She put the link there for our Highline tour tomorrow. We love doing that tour. and we might even catch, some early blooms. I think there's some.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Some, what am I trying? Magnolias, I think, are blooming, and some other things. So we might catch some pretty things blooming on the High Line tomorrow.
Then on Wednesday, we're walking around Rockefeller Center. We're going to be showing off the art of Rockefeller Center. And Wednesday night, Grand Central Terminal. We have some folks running and enjoying Little Island. And so those are our Wednesday tours. We basically have, I think, roughly, after tomorrow, roughly 2 tours a day until going, gone.
We've gotten a couple of questions about, where to leave contributions. And, look, you should leave them wherever it's most comfortable for you. We do have a Buy Me a Coffee site. It's NYC Tour Guys.
I think
right?
so.
I think so.
I can't remember it offhand.
But Heygo is here. Leaving contributions here is great too. To help support the platform all the way to the end. But anyway,
Mike asked a really good question, by the way,
Oh, yeah?
which was, he said, "I take it the park is not accessible." It actually is fully accessible.
Yes,
believe it or not, Mike.
It is. We took the steps and we climbed the rocks, but you can get to all the places that we went to via ramps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leslie, do we keep all the money from Buy Me a Coffee? I think they take a small fee.
They do. They do take a small fee.
Do you want to do a flip and just show this ramp?
Okay.
Patrick's going to do a flip. Oh, it was on me. Wait, do it again. Do it again. It was on me.
I don't know if I have it in me.
Broop. Careful, chapstick down. So there's a ramp behind Patrick. So yeah, it is fully accessible. And Bruce is asking a good question as well. Will we be doing tours after Heygo? No, we got picked up by British Bake Off. We're going to be their new hosts.
That is not true. As much as I wish that were true, it is not true. But
do you know for a fact? Like, have they called and said you are not our host?
They have not called to say we're not going to do it, but they also have not called to say we are.
Just saying, yeah.
You can figure that out.
So we.
I think I need a doctor. Okay.
I also think, can we move away from this group? They're playing on the floor bells, which is quite loud and distracting. Yes, we will have a future, is the short of it. And you will know what that future is within a couple of days. We will absolutely be posting what that is. Will we make mistakes? Yes. Will we fail? Probably sometimes.
Yeah, we're going to figure some stuff out. We're still exploring all the options, and we do kind of have a plan, but we just are still dotting the I's and crossing the T's, and we want to make sure that those are all checked off before we say what's going to happen. But we do kind of have a plan in place, and we will make that clear in a day or two.
Let's see, Judy. The chat is so fast I can't ask my question. Well, I'm
sorry,
looking for
Judy.
you now, Judy.
All right, well,
Drop it in. I'm going.
We're
real
scrolling back,
slow.
Judy, looking for your question.
Get that in there.
What is your question, Judy?
It better be. What is your address? Because I want to send you $1 million.
Best Cary Grant, Judy.
I hope that's what it is.
Meetup. Yes, you have asked that before, and we do have a plan for what we're going to do. And we're going to make that clear to the viewers in a day or two. We're just sort of figuring out the last couple of things. So we promise we will let everyone know. We'll put all those details on our channel page before Heygo crosses the finish line. So
we'll do it on the Heygo channel page. We'll do it on our Instagram, which is NYC Tour Guys. We'll do it on our Facebook profile, which is
Patrick, Aaron, NYC Tour Guys.
There we go.
And we'll put it also on the Heygo Voyagers page. We'll put it on all of the things before Heygo closes up shop. But we promise we will get the word out to everyone. And we also might be doing some rebranding, just so you know. Yes, Joan, exactly. That's us. But we're gonna switch some things up. So keep an eye out for that. We're going to try to keep it going, but we'll see.
Elle is asking, why is Heygo closing? Well, the long story short is Heygo is a business, and Heygo was not making the money that it needed to survive, unfortunately.
Thanks, Barbara.
And so it is, it's unfortunate, but it's the nature of our world. And we are beyond proud of the work that we did at Heygo. We are beyond proud of the work Heygo did. It's truly remarkable. And we're thrilled that they allowed us to discover and play and bloom on their site.
And to meet up with people from all around the
Yeah.
world. That's probably been our biggest, greatest takeaway is getting to, commune with people from all around the world. It's been such a gift doing this. You know, we started doing this Heygo thing because we thought it would be fun, and we thought as long as it stays fun, we'll keep doing it. What we didn't realize is that we ultimately needed it because we were meeting up with people, and we found a sense of community when everybody was lost and alone and trying to stay safe. And it's such a special thing in our hearts and will remain that way forever because of that reason.
Yeah.
Tracy also asked why rebranding. We're just trying to sort of streamline all of our stuff into one direction. We sort of felt like we had a couple of different things out there, names that were not lining up with each other. So we're just trying to rebrand and create kind of one-stop shop for us to see if we can keep this going. And we'll let you know where that's going to be.
I'm also slowly scrolling, and I'm seeing all your very sweet comments, Nikki and Mark and Lindsay and so many others, and Barbara. And Jane's grandson wants us to know that he can do a backflip.
Whoa, I can't do that anymore.
Oh, that's
I'd probably
incredible.
break in two.
I can spell the word flip backwards, but that's it. That's the PILF. Did I do it right?
No. Oh, yeah, you did.
I did. But that's about it, Jane's grandson. Yeah, I think it helped so many of us through the pandemic. So we are so grateful for all of it. And we'll have a lot more fun tours in this next week before Heygo is fully gone.
Okay.
And we're so thrilled you all joined us. And we hope to see you on our upcoming ones before we officially say goodbye.
A couple people have mentioned, as I have asked about TikTok, that's not something that we are currently exploring. Who knows, maybe later we'll add that to our docket.
And a couple people have asked about in-person tours as well. As of right now, same thing. It's in the TikTok category. It's not, we're not doing them right now.
Trudy, I don't know if you saw earlier, this is such a bummer because we just recently tested the cloisters. We won't get to put it on Heygo, but maybe we'll do it in another forum soon.
I think we should say goodbye.
Yeah, let's
because
say,
we've gone way over.
I know, we're so sorry that we've gone way over, but if you're running to another tour, don't be late.
Yeah. Thank you all for joining us. This is the 13th Street entrance and exit right here. And it was a beautiful night in New York. It was a beautiful Heygo tour. We'll have a few more beautiful Heygo tours before it's going gone. Thank you all for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.